On January 27th, Thomas Edison is granted a patent for his incandescent light bulb. His design uses a carbon filament connected to platinum contact wires, creating a longer-lasting and more practical electric lamp. This breakthrough moves electric lighting from experiment to reality and pushes the world closer to widespread electrification. On February 4th, tragedy unfolds in Ontario, Canada, when the Black Donnelly Massacre claims the lives of 5 members of the Donnelly family in a brutal act of vigilante violence. On February 19th, Alexander Graham Bell and Charles Sumner Tainter invent the Photophone in Washington, District of Columbia. This remarkable device transmits speech on a beam of light, an early step toward the fiber optic communications that will define the future. On February 24th, the steamship Columbia is launched at the Delaware River Iron Shipbuilding and Engine Works in Chester, Pennsylvania. She will become the first vessel to use Edison's incandescent light bulbs beyond the laboratory, bringing electric lighting to the high seas. Progress shines even brighter on March 31st, when the town of Wabash, Indiana, becomes the first town in the world generally lighted by electricity. 4 powerful brush arc lights mounted atop the courthouse flood the town with illumination, turning night into day and astonishing residents. On May 2nd, after her lighting system is installed, the Columbia is lit up for the first time at the foot of Wall Street in New York City. Only 11 days later, on May 13th, in Menlo Park, New Jersey, Edison conducts the first test of his electric railway. The demonstration shows that electricity may power not only lights, but also transportation. On June 1st, inventor Tinius Olsen receives a United States patent for the Little Giant testing machine. This device measures the strength and durability of materials, advancing engineering precision during an era of rapid industrial growth. On July 14th, Dorchester Penitentiary opens in Canada, reflecting evolving approaches to incarceration and corrections in North America. On August 26th, showman P.T. Barnum and James A. Bailey sign a contract in Bridgeport, Connecticut, forming what will become the Barnum and Bailey Circus. Their partnership creates one of the most famous entertainment enterprises in history. Scientific discovery advances on September 30th, when American Dr. Henry Draper captures the first photograph of the Orion Nebula from Hastings-on-Hudson, New York. In the same year, he photographs the spectrum of Jupiter, helping pioneer astrophotography. Education expands westward on October 6th, when the University of Southern California opens its doors to 53 students and 10 faculty members. On October 15th, a powerful blizzard signals the beginning of the hard winter across North America, bringing brutal cold and hardship to frontier communities. That same day, Mexican soldiers kill Victorio, one of the greatest Apache military strategists, marking a turning point in resistance conflicts in the American Southwest. Politics takes center stage on November 2nd, when James Garfield defeats Winfield Scott Hancock in the United States presidential election of 1880, setting the stage for a new administration in Washington. Innovation in commerce arrives on November 4th, when James and John Riddy of Dayton, Ohio, patent the first cash register designed to prevent employee theft. The stage lights up on November 22nd, as vaudeville performer Lillian Russell makes her debut at Tony Pastor's Theater in New York City, beginning a celebrated career in American entertainment. And during this same year, James Albert Bonsack produces the first practical cigarette rolling machine. His invention dramatically increases cigarette production, transforming the tobacco industry and consumer habits. In January, archaeologists uncover the Gokstad ship in Norway, the first Viking ship burial ever excavated. Buried for centuries beneath a great mound, the remarkably preserved vessel offers an extraordinary window into the seafaring power, craftsmanship, and burial customs of the Viking Age, reshaping modern understanding of Norse history. On February 2nd, the first successful shipment of frozen mutton from Australia reaches Britain aboard the steamship Strathlevin, thanks to advances in refrigeration technology. On April 18th, the United Kingdom holds a general election. William Ewart Gladstone defeats Benjamin Disraeli and returns as Prime Minister for the second time, marking a significant shift in British domestic and foreign policy. The very next day, on April 19th, Sweden experiences political upheaval as Prime Minister Louis de Geer resigns following the defeat of a defense reform bill in the Riksdag. He is succeeded by Count Arvid Paase, signaling a new chapter in Swedish governance. During July, English logician John Venn popularizes what become known as Venn diagrams, a simple yet powerful visual tool for illustrating logical relationships between sets. On September 14th, Cologne Cathedral in Germany finally reaches completion after construction began in 1248, a span of 632 years. The towering Gothic masterpiece becomes a symbol of faith, endurance, and national pride. On October 1st, the German company Munich Re is founded in Munich. Later that month, on October 28th, the first stone is laid for the Clarkson Memorial in Wisbech, England, honoring abolitionist Thomas Clarkson and Britain's anti-slavery movement. Disaster strikes on November 9th when a powerful earthquake devastates Zagreb, destroying numerous buildings, including parts of Zagreb Cathedral. The destruction prompts major reconstruction efforts and reshapes the Croatian capital's architecture. French physicists Pierre Curie and Jacques Curie discover piezoelectricity, the phenomenon by which certain crystals generate electric charge under mechanical stress. Their breakthrough will later underpin technologies from sonar to medical ultrasound. Meanwhile, in Sicily, the Capuchin catacombs of Palermo are officially closed, ending centuries of unique burial practices, though a few burials continue afterward. In April, the government of Cape Colony demands that the Basuto people surrender their weapons. Their refusal leads to the Basuto Gun War, highlighting resistance to colonial authority in southern Africa. On June 28th, infamous bushranger Ned Kelly was captured following a dramatic day-long shootout and siege at the Glenrowan Inn in Victoria, Australia. Clad in homemade iron armor, Kelly was shot multiple times in the legs by police, ending his 2-year outlaw spree. Other gang members, Dan Kelly, Joe Byrne, and Steve Hart, died during the confrontation. The following day, on June 29th, France annexes Tahiti, expanding its colonial presence in the Pacific. Power shifts in Central Asia on July 22nd when Abdur Rahman Khan becomes Emir of Afghanistan. Just 5 days later, on July 27th, the Second Anglo-Afghan War sees one of its fiercest clashes at the Battle of Maiwand. Afghan forces under Ayub Khan defeat British and Indian troops commanded by Brigadier General George Burroughs, a major setback for Britain. However, the conflict concludes on September 1st at the Battle of Kandahar, where General Frederick Roberts leads British forces to victory over Ayub Khan's army, effectively ending the war and securing British strategic objectives. Justice catches up with Ned Kelly on November 11th when he is hanged in Melbourne. His execution cements his legacy as one of Australia's most controversial folk figures, seen by some as a criminal, by others as a symbol of resistance. On December 1st, Manuel González Flores becomes the president of Mexico, guiding the nation through a period of modernization and political consolidation. In southern Africa, tensions escalate further. On December 20th, the First Boer War begins with the Battle of Bronkhorstspruit, resulting in a Boer victory over British forces. Just 10 days later, on December 30th, the Transvaal declares itself a republic, with Paul Kruger becoming its first president, a bold assertion of independence that deepens conflict in the region. Meanwhile, French explorer Pierre Savernin de Brazza signs a treaty of protection with the chief of the large Teke tribe along the Congo River. This agreement lays the groundwork for a French protectorate on the river's northern bank, shaping the colonial map of Central Africa. If you enjoyed this journey through 1880, be sure to like, subscribe, and join us as we explore another year in history.